Good evening, friends. Through the literary lens, today we are here. I am Rajesh Asudani Raqib,
I am Dr. Vinod Asudani, friends.
and today we are here to discuss a very famous and great Hindi story, Unchai, The Height, written by Mannu Bhandari.
Yes, this story is really different from many other stories. This story sets out new paradigms of ethics and morality. It explores man-woman relationship from new perspective, and this story also operates at psychological as well as on practical level. So before we could explore various ramifications of this story, I would like to request Rajesh ji to throw light on the basic plot of this story for the better understanding of our viewers.
Yeah. There is a couple, Shivani and Shishir. They are happily married for 8 years. They have 2 children. And the story begins when Shivani goes to Rajgir and the couple spends the night together. But they are separate from each other. They don't relate to each other like as before. Shivani thinks and she goes into flashback and she thinks there have been many quarrels, but always they have come closer after each quarrel because both of them understand each other very much. Shishir is not a conventional person. He is above conventional morality and he understands Shivani. He is sort of a liberated man. And whatever the quarrels, they have always patched up and have come more close. But this time, it is perhaps somewhat different. And she thinks what she has done because she has no moral compunctions about it. She thought it was right and she thought even Shishir would not actually object or would not actually mind it so much. And then she thinks that after 8 years, when Shishir one day comes to know of her action through a letter of her friend named Atul, he just leaves the home and goes out. And after 15 days, he has returned to her and she has also come here to Rajgir and they are meeting up and trying to sort it out, but perhaps they won't be able to sort it out. Now, what the action is? What is that action which is troubling Shishir so much and about which Shivani is at ease? That action is that Atul was friend of Shivani's before her marriage.
Rather, he was her
Boyfriend, and but somehow they fell out.
And the cause is not told why Atul went away from Shivani's life.
That cause is not at all told. Then afterwards, Shivani got married to Shishir and they are having a very happy life. After 8 years, when she goes to Puri with her son, without Shishir of course, and Atul by chance comes across her and they meet in the hotel where Shivani is living. And initially it is awkward, but then the old friendship is rekindled. And afterwards, Shivani asks him to come to Calcutta, but he refuses. And she says when she will go to drop her son to the boarding school, she will halt in Allahabad, and she keeps her promise. And while going there for a day, she is there and they talk and they have a good time. But afterwards, when she drops her son to the school, she makes an unplanned halt at Atul's place in Allahabad while on her journey back. And there lies the crux of the story. She is moved by empathy. She is, all the feelings are revived in her, of course, but she thinks that, and she tells it to Atul, that your life is a hell because I left you. Now only my love can revive your life. And she makes advances towards him, which he refuses. He tells her also that why are you ruining your life? She says, no, it's not like that. My husband is understanding enough. And even though the author has not explicitly described, but it is implied that they have sex, they have physical relationships. She comes back to her place, to her house, and Shishir also knows of Atul and friendship between them. And after 4 months, the letter arrives, and through that letter, Shishir comes to know of this thing that Shivani has given her body to her friend. She has established physical relationships with Atul, and this prompts him to leave the house altogether. Now, here in Rajgir, she goes out at night. She goes out. She cannot stay in the same bed with Shishir because there is no communion between them, physical as well as mental. And Shishir comes after her and says that, why are you in the cold outside? Let us go inside. But the coldness of a stone is colder than the outside cold. And then they climb the mountain in the morning. They go up to the mountain. They stay there. They sit on the bench and discuss it. And Shishir makes it clear that he wants to call the marriage off because she has given to somebody, and she has her body without any reason. And Shivani tries to tell him that it was not out of lust, or even it was not out of love or continuing relationships that she did it, but she did it out of empathy to bring her friend's life back on track. And she was moved in that circumstance, and she tries to convey to Shishir that this is not anything like what he is thinking. Actually, she is fully committed in marriage. She never thought of ditching him, and even now she is not ditching him. But that was a momentary thing, but it was out of empathy, and she does not wish to continue it any longer because Atul knows his boundaries. And finally, at first, Shishir doesn't seem to buy her argument. He doesn't go by her version, but towards end, he seems to accept it, and they sort of cling to each other in the open. And Shishir says, "But you are so dear to me that I don't want to share you with anybody in any form." And then they start their descent. Shishir helps her along, and she suggests that they will not walk down the road, but they will take the bushes. And even though it's very difficult, but they will take that path. They come down, they go to the hot water stream where they are refreshed. Shivani is also refreshed, and thus the story ends.
Yes. And now, if we look at a story from different angles, one thing that strikes me, Rajaji, that here Shivani is not a conventional woman. She has her own opinion. She has her own will as well. She treats herself as subject, not as the object, as it happens in the case of many women. As Simone de Beauvoir, in her powerful book, The Second Sex, has argued all along that the real trouble for females comes from their attitude that they are objects. But here, when she spends a day or two with Atul, she realizes that she has full freedom over her body and emotions. And Atul was her former lover, and he is a gentleman, thorough gentleman. He does not do anything that she does not like. But out of tenderness, out of compassion, she submits to his
Or rather, she herself makes the advances.
Herself makes the advances. And one sentence that she says, that if I gave some affection to him, it would complete his incomplete life. So she is capable of feeling that depth of emotion of Atul. So this is something striking, and this takes her to the next level of morality as well, because Manu Bhandari perhaps wants to say that the time has come when we have to liberate ourselves from the conventional morality or the conventional interpretation of institution of marriage. The million-dollar question that she raises, whether interrelationship in marriage is concentrated only in the physical aspect. If woman or sometimes man has physical relationship with somebody else, whether it is sufficient to terminate the marriage, whether such marriage should not be continued. So this is the core question that surfaces in this story. So how do you look at this basic issue, Rajesh?
Yeah, of course. I agree that this story raises the issue of evolving morality. As famous psychologist Kohlberg has said, there are 6 stages of morality. A child regards right and wrong, whatever for is punished and rewarded. Second thing you come across, the reward and punishment, then social morality, then conventional morality. And if you read through, final stage is the personal evolved morality. Here Shivani is on the 6th level of morality, where she decides for herself what is wrong and what is right. She does not operate in relation or in response to her husband, and therefore she has a subjective, her own identity. That's what you underline also, and that's what
Yes,
Simone de Beauvoir
yes.
has said.
Yes.
So this progress from the, most of us are in the conventional morality. If you ask most of us, they will say that yes, if any spouse, any of the spouses, and particularly women, commits physical infidelity, then it is the sufficient ground to terminate the marriage. And this is what Shishir also says in the beginning.
Right, but we should realize that only physical fidelity is not the sufficient ground to either to continue marriage or to discontinue marriage, because there are many marital relationships where emotional harassment takes place, where financial harassment takes place, where the different type of violence takes place, but still those marriages continue only because the males realize that their wives are physically committed to them. But here the things are altogether different. Shivani is a very good wife every inch.
And she says that you would not have realized it had the letter not disclosed it.
Exactly.
For 4 months my behavior was not any different towards you.
And also she admits that this thing is not going to be repeated in the future as well. That was under the force of circumstances, under that particular situation, that she accepted Atul for a while.
And she says in so many words when Shishir asks her whether she would be comfortable if he establishes the relationships with any woman, she says it depends. It depends on the context within which it takes place. And anyway, I am not such a traditional or such a narrow-minded person in these matters. So she accepts that physical monopoly or physical monogamy is not actually the desired or any default, it's not a compulsory state of affairs, and one can evolve beyond it. It's not saying that one can go berserk and 1, 2, 3, 4, one can increase the count, or one can go into prostitution, or one can just go wild with the men and women. Not like that. It's of course not like that. What she says to convey, what she wants to convey, and perhaps the author wants to convey through her, is that in our social evolution, there are some individuals who are evolved much more than the current society. For them, the physical fidelity is neither necessary nor sufficient condition to sustain a marriage.
And we have to go beyond physical fidelity. We have to understand the person, taking into account all other parameters, emotional commitment, practical cooperation, and help, etc., that is rendered in the institution of marriage. So we have to go beyond this narrow thinking where marriage is only confined, or rather the purity of the institution of marriage is merely confined to the physical fidelity of both the partners. Here, Shivani does justice to her husband Shishir. She remains faithful, but at the same time, she also does a kind of justice to Atul, because once upon a time he was her lover and he is not married, and his life has almost become hell He suffers from loneliness, a kind of depression. And Shivani is wise enough to understand and realize.
That's very great. She does not only realize, but she acts on it.
Yes.
Many times empathy is confined to just realization, and some of the critics, some of my friends have also argued that it was merely sufficient that Shivani would have realized it, that he is like that, and she may have rendered she may have rendered lip service,
Yeah,
love verbal
perhaps
support to her.
that would not have altered
Yeah.
Atul's situation.
Yeah.
Now, although Shivani was with Atul just for 1 or 2 days,
Yeah.
but I'm sure that now Atul would enjoy the bliss of her company for entire life. At least he has come out of that agony that had become an integral part of his life, and Shivani really understands that her staying with him for a day or two would help him to come out of the agony.
Not only that, it would help him to change his life approach. That's what she says. If my giving something to
Yes.
my friend, former lover, can change his approach, whole approach towards the life, then why shouldn't I give it?
Exactly. And so that makes Shivani altogether different. I would say a revolutionary heroine in modern literature, and she elevates. She is elevated in the esteem of the readers.
And of course, we can't think that an average girl would aspire to such heights. Naturally, today also, this
Exactly.
story may have been written 50 years ago. But even today, that's not an average human being's cup of tea. Not only the girls, but an average human being's cup of tea to scale such heights.
Right, to become or to act like Shivani, any woman or girl needs to have different kind of sensitivity, empathy level, and understanding. All these qualities are absolutely rare.
And let me expound on this, that empathy. There is a famous couplet, famous शेर कि ये दुनिया भर के झगड़े, घर के किस्से, काम की बातें, भला हर एक टल जाए अगर तुम मिलने आ जाओ. So this is the thing which Shivani realizes. Atul feels it fine, but Shivani realizes that my going to him and just having a relationship maybe would alter his entire attitude towards life, and that's what she acts upon also. So that is really compassion put into practice.
Because love is cure to all the agonies, to all the pains. That also is clear by this story. And ultimately, we really appreciate both the characters, Shivani as well as Shishir, because Shivani has transformative influence on Shishir, who initially is ready to divorce, but gradually he comes to understand the attitude of Shivani. Perhaps he appreciates, though partially, that why Shivani must have behaved the way she behaved when she was with Atul. And here, even Shishir rises in our estimation. And perhaps the title of the story is quite appropriate.
And author has taken that setting itself. They climb the mountain, and from the heights of the mountain, many things seem very small.
Exactly.
So this is such a height, psychological height, from where all these things small, they seem trifles. And Shishir in the beginning, he is not just a conventional husband. Shivani says he is a liberated person.
Already he is halfway through the
Yeah.
process of liberation.
And he does not regard that the touch of another man defiles a woman, makes her impure. No, he doesn't believe like that. What he wants is that Shivani should feel guilty, that she has done some wrong. And this is where the crux of the story lies. Shivani doesn't feel guilty. Shivani is comfortable with what she did. It is not that she is now regretting. Had she regretted, entire matter would have been settled, and this Shivani realizes that by simply saying that I am guilty, even though I don't feel it, if I say I am guilty, you will be okay.
Yeah, she's
Entire
not
thing.
guilty.
But she is not guilty, and she holds her head high.
Right, that's really wonderful. And we are also reminded of
Yeah.
Thomas Hardy, right, Tales of the Urban Village, where he also expounds this kind of morality, where Tess is violated,
Yeah.
despite her will, despite her intention, by one of her acquaintances, and other people usually consider her to be, a defiled woman,
Unchaste.
unchaste, but she continues to be chaste. That is the approach that Hardy takes in his novel. So almost the same approach has been taken by the writer as well. So this
And
story,
here, if you compare Manu Bhandari's another story, that Yahi Sach Hai,
yeah,
there also the cause of the rift is unknown,
yes,
and she oscillates between the two, finally surrendering to one of them, but still keeping the possibility open for the other. But here it is very much explicit. There it is perhaps implicit. We have discussed it one of the episodes.
right.
But here it is quite explicit and quite a bold story to write.
Yeah, so definitely kudos to the writer for writing this kind of a story, which operates altogether at the different level of morality, different level of psychology, and this story is certainly thought-provoking story. I appeal to all the listeners that they should go through the original story and take some time off to ponder over the issues that story is hinting at.
Yes, definitely. And in another episode, we will come up with something interesting. So till then, bye
Write your comments. Bye bye. Take care.